So this is my experience with racism. And I was in 2nd grade. I was 8 years old. Or 7. You know. I think I was 7. Yeah, actually I was 7 years old. I was 7 years old.
Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me explain first of all how I was introduced to racism. This is when 9/11 happened. Anyway, I was getting ready for lunch, so I got in line and I'm waiting. So these two boys come up to me, and I'm just gonna name for the sake of this video one of them Jimmy, the main one Jimmy. So this Jimmy kid goes up to me and he says,
"So I heard you're a terrorist."
"No, I'm not a terrorist." He's like,
Yeah, you are a terrorist. You're a terrorist.
and we go to lunch. So of course I'm in lunch, I eat my lunch, I play on the playground by myself. We go back to class. So the whole class is sitting on the floor. This is when it all went down. I guess she had an activity ready for us or something. Before we started the activity, Jimmy, oh little Jimmy, put up his little hand and said,
Teacher, I have to tell you something.
he says,
She said she was gonna blow up the whole entire school.
and I looked at him, I was like,
I didn't say that.
he said,
Yeah, you did say that.
then other students that were obviously very racist too jumped up and said,
Yeah, she did say that.
no, I didn't say that. I started crying as the little 7-year-old that I was. And also, to add on to that, after that incident, I was introduced to racism. Like, I realized that people hate Muslims, right? My 7-year-old little mind had that built in her head. I remember my dad picked me up every Friday from school to go to the Friday prayer, you know, because we were the only Muslims in our town. There were no Muslims my age at all, and there were no Muslims my brother's age. They were all bigger people. My dad would take us to the mosque every single Friday to pray the Friday prayer so that we feel that Islamic vibe, I guess. So I remember one day I went up to my teacher and I was like,
Teacher, my dad came to take me to the Friday prayer, so I gotta go.
she literally did go. Did you just roll your eyes because I'm gonna go and pray? Like, well, that was my racist 2nd grade experience and everything. And also, I'm gonna add a little story on this, and just in case you guys aren't bored, if you guys are still watching this, you guys are pretty awesome. Okay, I wanted to be friends with these 3 girls, right? So these girls used to always play with these things, Care Bears. I went up to these girls and I wanted to play with these girls, like, hey, you guys want to play with me? They'd be like,
You don't have a Care Bear.
I have to have a Care Bear to play with you guys? They're like, 3 months and I'm trying to find a Care Bear. I couldn't find one for some reason, or I just didn't know how to look, but I didn't find one. So my mom one day took me to Target. So I went to Target and I was like, okay, where is the Care Bear? I was sitting and I saw a Care Bear right in front of me. I grabbed it and I ran to my mom. I was like,
Mom, can I please buy this? I need this so bad.
in the cart, we paid for it. I went to school the next day and I was like,
I got the Care Bear.
and I pulled it out of my bag and I was all excited, like, yay, now I can play with these girls. And they looked at me like,
Actually, we're gonna change to a little doll.
so now suddenly you want to change the toy because I got it? Really? What if? Like, you know what? I'm not gonna play with you anyway. I didn't want to, you know. Whatever. I have more stories with that has to do with racism because, you know, I lived in a place where there were a lot of rednecks. I lived in Arizona, and not in Phoenix where there are Arabs and Muslims. No, in Flagstaff at the mountaintop. There were a lot of people that were really racist over there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoyed my suffering. So, jazakumullahu khairan. Okay, I forgot to mention something. I'm editing this video and I forgot to say that I want every single story time of mine to have a lesson learned out of it. I want us to, like, take in things when you're watching my videos, you learn something. So, we're gonna say what I learned out of this story right now. I'm just gonna say it because I forgot to mention it a minute ago. What I learned out of this story is that people's opinions don't matter. No matter what people say, it doesn't matter. Like, I cared back then, now I don't care, and I wish I didn't care back then. People's words don't matter. How many friends you have, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. That does not matter, not even a little bit. It doesn't matter. You and your relationship with God is what matters. That is what bases your worth and how much you are worth. And of course, only Allah, God, will judge that. So that's what I learned out of this story, and I hope you guys like this video. And I'm gonna do this thing where the YouTubers usually do. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and do all that type of jazz, because it would be pretty cool. And go back to editing. Spread positivity, make the world a happy place. Assalamu alaikum.